So what are the best Pokemon investments in today's market? We're going to be taking a look at which ones that I'm not buying until there's a reprint or a good deal, which ones that are a good buy right now, and which ones I'm currently buying heavily that are extremely undervalued. So let's take a look at, first and foremost, the ones that I'm not buying until there's a good deal. And these are going to be the products that are either slightly overvalued, maybe they've run up quite a bit and they need to cool off a little bit. Maybe they're very new products like Phantasmal Flames, or maybe these are products that are just very expensive and they've already seen a lot of growth already. So first and foremost, Phantasmal Flames, this I would not be touching with a 10-foot pole. The price of this booster box is $300, but we do know that there's no Gengar SIR. We know that basically this set only really has that Charizard SIR, which is a really good card, but I don't think that that Charizard alone justifies the price of a $300 booster box. I think when this gets released, it will definitely continue going down, and I can definitely see this falling into $250 range, similar to how Mega Evolutions fell down to that range as well. Next up is 151 and Paldean Fates booster bundles. Now both of these are still sitting in the $90 to $100 range, and I think they'll probably stay there for the foreseeable future. Paldean Fates, there was a rumor that they're coming out with more booster bundles, and we'll see another kind of wave of Paldean Fates booster bundles very soon. So if that does happen, then we can definitely expect Paldean Fates to drop in price, and that would be a very good opportunity. I'll probably move it up to good buy, maybe even buying heavily depending on how far it falls. But both of these right now for $90 to $100, I don't think it's the best buy out there, but you can't go wrong with it because both of these are amazing sets. Same thing with Paldean Evolved, right? This booster box went up a lot the past couple of months, but right now it's kind of cooling off, right? It had that correction. I think it's back in the low 400s, maybe even high 300s. Correct me if I'm wrong. This is always going to be a good buy, but it's not going to be a great buy or, like an extremely undervalued buy right now, just because there's some better products on the market right now. But if this does go down, let's say it does get a reprint, I would definitely consider Paldean Evolved to be a really good buy, maybe even a extremely undervalued buy. For the PC ETBs, I don't think these are great buys at the moment. I think there's better places to put your money, but once again, you can't go wrong with these, right? All the products I have outlined in this tier I would say are very desirable, are very, very good. You can't go wrong with them, even buying at today's prices. Other than Phantasmal Flames, I think this could take a while to see some, good gains if you buy it at $300. I don't think that's the best play in the world. But all these other ones, I think you can't go wrong with it, even buying at today's price. But I just think there's better buys out there, and these are some of the most desirable PC ETBs in the Scarlet and Violet era, especially this Prismatic one. I really, really like Prismatic Evolutions. I think it's still a undervalued set in my opinion. And I think the PC ETB for Prismatic is kind of getting to a point where it's staggering, where it's, kind of slowing down in growth. And that's going to be a good opportunity, in my opinion, to start picking some up if we see this continued decline of the price. Next up is the good buy tier. Which products do I think are a good buy right now? First and foremost, we have our booster boxes, and we have Destined Rivals as the main booster box that I have listed here. Now, what is Destined Rivals sitting at right now? Let's take a look. $389, and it's been sitting in this $370 to $380 range for a pretty long time now, ever since we got that restock back in early October. So it's been a month of basically consolidation for Destined Rivals booster boxes, and this is a really good sign because we want Destined Rivals to go down, but we don't want it to obviously crash to the ground. We want it to establish a floor, and it seems like the floor right now is in that $370 to $380 range, right? It went from basically like $550, $500 all the way down to $380. So it's had a very big decrease in price. We want to see these cool offs in order for a product to continue going higher, and Destined Rivals, I've talked about Destined Rivals so much in some of my past videos, but it is one of the best sets of Scarlet and Violet. It's arguably a top 3 set. It is definitely the best main set, so it has everything going for it. It has the Team Rocket theme, and right now I think it's at a pretty decent price to pick up more if you haven't already. Next up is Mega Evolution, and I think Mega Evolution is now getting to a point where it's starting to make sense. It's actually starting to make a lot of sense to pick up Mega Evolution. Let's take a look at the price. It's sitting at $250, and this has gone down quite a bit since hitting $320 during pre-sale, and we've seen this steady decline in the price of Mega Evolution, which is exactly what I predicted, and it actually hits a low of about 240, 230 even. I saw some sites selling it for 230, but now it's kind of slowly crept up to about 250, 260. I still think it's a good buy. If you can buy a case of it for maybe about 240, 250 each, I think that's not a bad play. Mega Evolution is not a bad set at all. It has a lot of chase cards. It has a lot of value. So this is definitely a good long-term play in my opinion. Same thing with Surging Sparks. This has gone down to about that 260, 250 range once again. Right? It went up to $300 and it's kind of cooled off back down to where it started. And I still think Surging Sparks is a good buy even at 250. This has the Pikachu chase card. It has a Latios. It has a Milotic. It has a lot of good cards. Definitely an undervalued buy at the moment. Now we get to some Sword and Shield boxes, and I'm going to start with Crown Zenith ETBs, right? Crown Zenith ETBs are now less than $200. These were over $200 a couple months ago, and they've kind of cooled off since then. We've seen a slow and steady decline in the price of these ETBs, as you can see. Crown Zenith is obviously one of the best sets of the entire era, right? Amazing total set value. You have all of your chase cards. You have a Giratina, Mewtwo, Arceus, Dialga, Palkia, right? You have your evolutions, you have Suicune, Raikou, Entei. You have basically every single popular Pokemon in Crown Zenith, right? This is going to be an amazing set to hold long term, and the ETB is probably the best singular product outside the PC ETB that you can get for Crown Zenith. So this being less than $200, right? This being the same price as a lot of your Scarlet and Violet ETBs, I think this is a good deal right now. And I think you really can't go wrong with it long term. Same thing with some of these other top Sword and Shield sets like Brilliant Stars, Evolving Skies, and Lost Origin. These have all seen a pretty big decline in its price, right? It's seen a step down, and it's kind of been staying there for the past couple of weeks, right? We've seen, a 20% decrease, and now it's staying in that price range. And in my opinion, this is an accumulation phase, right? We've seen Brilliant Stars go from $600 down to $490. It's had this pretty massive drop. But if you look at the listings for something like Brilliant Stars, you see that it doesn't take too many buys for it to get back up to about $580, right? You have 1, 2, 6, so that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You basically get 17 boxes until you get back up to, $580. So it's not going to take too much for these boxes to get back to its price. And I think at $480, right, would you rather have Paldean Evolved or Brilliant Stars? I think Brilliant Stars is honestly the pick for me. Now we get into which boxes I'm currently buying heavily, which Pokemon products are extremely undervalued. These, of course, are going to be Prismatic Evolutions ETBs and booster bundles. I'm actually going to put booster bundles slightly ahead of ETBs because you can find these Prismatic booster bundles right now for about $50. Like I've seen it locally sell for $50, $55, and it's very easy to find these boxes right now. The main reason is that this is still getting reprinted. Probably going to see continued restocks of this product in the next couple of months, and I believe that this is just a really good opportunity to get these booster bundles. We've seen the price of Prismatic booster bundles continue to go down steadily over the past, 8-9 months since release, and right now it's basically at an all-time low, right at $59, $58, $57. And locally, like I said, you can find this for around that $50 range. I don't need to talk about how good of a set Prismatic Evolutions is. You guys already know, right? This is going to be the top set of Scarlet and Violet. The top sets of an era always do well. And in my opinion, Prismatic at less than $10 a pack is an absolute must buy. You're going to be looking back at these prices for Prismatic 2 years down the line, and you're going to be kicking yourself for not buying Prismatic booster bundles. Same thing for ETBs. Prismatic ETBs are now sitting at $131. I think locally you can still find them for maybe $115, $120, which is not a bad buy at all. Now these have kind of consolidated and stayed flat for the past month or so. And I think that it's going to be a matter of time before they make their next leg up. We haven't seen a massive restock of these in a while, but I do believe, I think Sam's Club or maybe Costco is doing another drop of these ETBs. So we might see another, slight decrease in the price, but I don't see these going under $100 anytime soon, unless we get a massive restock, of course. But that would just be, another good opportunity to pick these up. I think anything under 130 is a good buy. And if these drop back down to $100, I'll continue buying these. I've been buying these for around that 110, 120 range. So anything in that range or lower is a must buy in my opinion. So that's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you thought of these rankings. Let me know what you're currently buying in today's markets. And I'll see you guys in the next one.